Hey guys, this is James with RogueDuelist Trade, and on this channel we talk about current and upcoming Yu-Gi-Oh product and whether or not you should invest your money in order to profit. So I went ahead and published my part 1 and part 2 videos on Genesis Impact as to whether or not the risk was high or low to invest in this product. And of course, one day later, we suddenly got an announcement for Evil Twins. So now my videos are immediately outdated, but I wanted to give you guys an update. So we can call this part 3 of a risk analysis on Genesis Impact and talk about whether or not the reveals from Evil Twins increase or decrease our risk to invest in this product and expect a profit. Guys, stay tuned at the end of the video if you want to get any updates on the RDT Patreon, which is the very first Yu-Gi-Oh investments Patreon where you guys can buy product at near wholesale rates. Also, if this isn't your first time, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Like this video if you want to help the YouTube algorithm and support this channel. And follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can find the links down below. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. I'd like to start this video by talking about the chase cards from this particular archetype that I feel have the highest possibility of being money cards in this set. So obviously we have Live Twin Kisakill and we have Live Twin Lila. So these are the main deck monsters that you are going to use, which are each 1-card combos to get you into your link monsters. So Live Twin Kisakill and Live Twin Lila, what they do is if you summon one, you can summon the other one from your deck. Their second effects are absolutely irrelevant, but I think something to note for this archetype, Kisakill is a light monster. Lila is a dark monster. They're both Cybers monsters, so that's very important because we just had Toon Chaos. So we have a lot of added support for the Chaos archetype, which requires light and dark monsters in your graveyard. So if you get these two monsters off, you could link them literally into anything and you immediately have a light and dark monster in your graveyard. And these two cards are searchable by Sign It Mining. So you can essentially run 6 of all of these cards in your deck by running Sign It Mining. Sign It Mining just got reprinted in the Megatons. 3rd reprint, I think it's like under $3 right now. So guys, this is definitely a huge positive for the archetype, but I definitely think that this is something that shouldn't be underestimated. Definitely think once we get more support, there's a lot of opportunity with what Konami can do here, largely because of their attributes, largely because of their monster type, and also the fact that they can extend into each other for free. So next is Evil Twins Kisakill Lila. So this is like their real alter ego selves in 1 card. What I really like about this is you can special summon it from your graveyard or your hand. It requires 2 link monsters, so it doesn't matter what link rating they are. They could be link 1s, 2, 3, whatever. And you can get them onto the field by tributing 2. So you could Foolish Burial this card in the graveyard, and then it's almost like you're adding it to your hand because then you can go and tribute 2 monsters, get it onto the field, and you send all cards on your opponent's board to the graveyard, and they can only keep up to 2 cards. Also, something to note is that it is a dark monster, it's a fiend monster, and it's a level 8. There are 2 cards in particular that can search this card from your deck. And next is Live Twin Entrance, basically like an e-teleport for your level 2 main deck monsters, Lila and Kisakill. Now, the only thing that I don't like about this card, because it has a lot of great things going for it, especially because it's a quick play spell card, it locks your extra deck into Evil Twin monsters for the remainder of the duel. Only 2 Evil Twin monsters that we're going to talk about, but that definitely is a negative because there's not a lot of support for this archetype yet. A lot of the spell and trap cards are extremely underwhelming. I'm not even going to cover them in chase cards. The Live Twin Entrance is a 1-card combo. Let's go ahead and talk about the link monsters, and I'll explain why you can get into a link 4 fiend monster with 1 card. So Evil Twin Kisakill and Evil Twin Lila have very similar effects. It's their first effect that's different. Their second effect is essentially the same. So Evil Twin Kisakill, if you special summon her, you can special summon a Lila monster from the graveyard. So that's either the main deck or the extra deck version, which is this one right here. And Lila is the opposite. If you get her on the field, you can get a Kisakill monster from the graveyard and special summon it. So this is how you'd play the strategy. Let's say you summon Live Twin Kisakill, special summon Lila from your deck. If this is turn 1, you would go ahead into Evil Twin Kisakill. Then you would go ahead and special summon Live Twin Lila from your graveyard. Then you would link your Evil Twin Kisakill and your Live Twin Lila, and you would go into Evil Twin Lila. You would activate Evil Twin Lila's quick effect and special summon Evil Twin Kisakill from the graveyard. Once you do that, Evil Twin Kisakill's first effect, if there's an Evil Twin Lila monster on the field when she's summoned, you can draw 1 card. So you can +1, which is not a bad effect. And it also has a little bit of disruption because if you keep Kisakill on your field and you go into your opponent's turn, you can special summon Lila from your graveyard as a quick effect as disruption and pop an opponent's card. It doesn't negate, it only pops, but it's definitely not bad, but definitely not enough to be meta if this is all you can do. Now, I think what does give this archetype potential is the ability to link up into Unchained monsters, because Unchained is all fiends and they actually have a very good link 4 monster. They actually have a very good link 2 monster. The fact that you can intertwine this with a lot of Cyberse main deck monsters and extra deck monsters depending on the build that you want to make, and then having an Unchained engine in your deck and in your extra deck, there's a lot that you can do and it's not bad. Now, I definitely would say is Rogue at best. I think that Evil Twins will have a lot more support to come, as we've seen with archetypes like Sky Strikers from previous deck building sets. I really feel that Konami will try to invest into this archetype because it's actually very interesting. The lore is very interesting. It actually has a lot going for it because you guys have to consider you can play on your opponent's turn. I don't think our score will change, and honestly, I don't think our score changes at all from the score that I gave previously in my part 2 video. I think the scores are pretty much gonna stay where they're at. I think there is some benefit to this archetype that I was anticipating, which is basically the collectability aspect, the lore aspect. I think that's going to keep that up. You guys, you have to consider whether an archetype is good or not, people may invest into it. I do think, similar to Dragon Maids, people are gonna be very interested in this archetype and they're going to invest into it. And I think from an investment perspective, on release weekend, or at least the first week of release, I think that these cards will perform fairly well in value. So current card support buyouts, interestingly enough, I actually was going to talk about this card being a card you may want to invest into when I started putting these slides together the same day after that we found out Live Twins were coming, because this card can essentially search a level 8 fiend monster from your deck to your hand. But then I saw that John from House of Champs already covered that this card was already seeing a buyout, so people were already on the ball for this. So the lowest price was about $3 just a few days ago, and it suddenly jumped to about $5. And actually this chart says $4.71, but the lowest right now in the market that I could see was $5.77. I wouldn't be surprised by the time you guys are watching this video that this card might be sitting at about $8. So I do think that people see that there's going to be a level of interest in this archetype, whether meta or not, for people to already be buying out cards like this. So again, I don't think that necessarily changes the value of the score. Maybe you could argue that it could go to a 4, so there is some benefit there, but I went ahead and kept it at 3 because we're only looking at one card, and I think you can't really use one card to really drive up the value of this metric significantly. Collector's value, fan favorite anime support, I think this does not change. I think a 5 is justified, especially because of the lore and the archetype and the hype that a lot of people are having for this archetype, even though it's not necessarily meta yet with the support we have. Influencer and consumer hype on social media, I don't think this changes either, and I think it's actually the same as I said before. There's a lot of Yu-Gi-Tubers saying that it's extremely underwhelming. There are a lot of people saying that the archetype is underwhelming as well, but there's a lot of people that are excited about it, again, because of the lore, and I think that will drive value for some of these one card combo cards in this archetype, or a lot of the cards that you're going to need in order to play this engine. But I do want to go over potential singles that I think you guys might want to invest into because of the live Evil Twin archetype. So first is Chaos Space. Chaos Space can search that level 8 fiend monster, and also Dark Spirit's Mastery could have more opportunity to go up in value. And honestly, this is a card that you should just have a playset of at bare minimum. There's going to be future fiend strategies where this is going to be more relevant and is just a generic search for level 8 and higher fiend monsters. And then Signet Mining. The two main deck monsters are Cyberse monsters, and Signet Mining is dirt cheap right now. You can get a super rare, I think under $3 from the Megatins. It also has a secret and ultra rare variants from previous sets. I think Signet Mining, probably in any rarity, maybe secret rare you would want to hold on to because highest rarity always seems to do best. And then other cards, because they are Cyberse monsters, Link Disciple is one of the main combo pieces, and there is an ultra rare from Dual Power, which is highest rarity, which I believe is under $1. Now this is a one of, most likely in the strategy if you are going to play it, because extra deck space would be pretty tight, but I do think that this card has opportunity to go up. Now Decode Talker, Honestly, I don't think anybody would actually play Decode Talker in the Live Twin strategy, but when I was looking into Cybers monsters, I was very surprised to see that the ultimate rare Decode Talker is under $20. This is an ace monster from one of the animes, and also it's a card that people still play sometimes, and I definitely think $20 is undervalued for what this card could be, and I could only see Decode Talker ultimate rare going up in time. And then you have IP Masquerena. So we just got a prismatic rare IP Masquerena out of the Megatins under 10 bucks. IP Masquerena to me is essential if you want to play this strategy, because you need to make ways to interrupt your opponent on your opponent's turn. And I think IP Masquerena, in addition to the Evil Twin Link monsters, is the best way to do it. So you can climb on your opponent's turn and create disruption and kind of go into a disruptor that makes the most sense based on what your opponent is doing. So I definitely think IP Masquerena only has opportunity to go up in value, because not just for this archetype, but really for any archetype, because it's generic. And then the Unchained cards. So you have Unchained Abomination, Unchained Soul of Rage. They both got reprints in the Megatins, and I think they're both under like $1. I think those are definitely good investments. And also original prints, highest rarity is always going to be best as well. So you might want to consider investing into that, because their value has dropped significantly since the Megatins came out, and it might be the best time to go and pick those cards up. And then Abomination's Prison is basically the search card for Unchained. Great thing about Abomination's Prison is that you can search spell traps or monsters, and you want to be able to get some of your trap cards to pop them to be able to special summon some of your main deck monsters from the deck. So those are definitely cards that I think are good investments, especially because of the new Evil Twin archetype. And then you have your Topologic monsters. And I think Topologic Bomber and Topologic Trisbania and Topologic Gumblar Dragon are probably some of the better cards that you might want to go into. You can IP Masquerena into one of these Topologics, and then you can quick effect special summon one of your Evil Twin monsters from the graveyard to the field, and then you can go ahead and use one of these effects. So this might be something that you would want to go into depending on the type of board your opponent's building. Basically Nibiru their board in a sense, depending on which card that you go into. So again, I don't think the analysis has changed at all from what I put together in my previous part 1, part 2 videos, but I did want to talk about it with you guys, because I know a lot of people have been having questions as to whether or not I think Genesis Impact is still a good investment. I do, and actually I think more than anything, it may be a very good investment to keep sealed and actually hold long term. I also think it might be a good product to open up and sell on product release. The Live and Evil Twin archetype is going to get more support, and I think it is going to get better. And if it does, this set will start to go up in value in the future. And then you have all the collector rares. We don't know what collector rares we're gonna be getting. If we get cards like Stardust Dragon, like BLS, like Chaos Emperor Dragon, those type of cards, then there's definitely a ton of potential in the collector rare market for those rarities. Any new or upgraded type rarities for certain nostalgic cards or meta relevant cards, like Cyframe Gamma is an example that came out of Toon Chaos, I think this set may be a good set to hold on to sealed. Now that's the great thing. If you invest into this product, you can see on product release weekend how it performs. And if it doesn't perform how you would like it to perform, I would just hold on to it, because I don't think that this set will lose value. I would be very surprised, especially with the collector rare cards, especially with Draitron, and a lot of excitement behind this lore and the opportunity for Evil Twins to get better over time and these other archetypes in this set. I'm very interested to see how this performs. It's really the first deck building set of its kind, because it's completely different than deck building sets that they've done in the past. I think that's where you guys need to consider there is a level of risk, but I feel the level of risk is worth the potential reward. Because think about it, guys, if a lot of people don't invest into this product and it actually does perform well, then you will do very well with this product. Because if not a lot of people are buying into it, that means Konami is not going to print as much of this product, which means there's not going to be a lot in the marketplace. Look at the Megatins as an example. So many people bought into the Megatins, it actually had a lot of great cards coming with that product. But because it was primarily reprints, because everybody was buying into it and we're flooding the market with so much inventory of all the cards in the Megatins, the value dropped like a rock. But if you guys look at this, there might not be a lot of people buying into this because everyone thinks it's underwhelming, but if it does perform well because of the collector rares or the excitement behind some of these archetypes, in my perspective, I feel it's worth the risk. We don't want another product that everybody thinks 100% invest into. I think we need to look at sets that have a level of risk, because if not a lot of people buy into it because they feel the risk is high, the reward may very well be worth it. And honestly, I don't see anything in this set that says, oh, the value is going to be terrible, it's going to drop, there's nothing good in this. There's a lot of opportunity and possibilities. So guys, that's the end of the video. I'd like to know what you think. I know this is somewhat controversial, but let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to understand your perspective. Now guys, for the RDT Patreon, we still have spots open where you guys can buy product significantly lower in most places that you're able to get it in the marketplace without a distributor. We can get you product at $6.55 per case if you are a level 4 patron. If you're a level 5 or 6 patron, we can get you product at $6.49 per case. And there's a ton of other value that you can get too, whether you can get product or not, where you guys can get access to ratio videos. You guys can get access to Q&A discussions with me and my partner in this Patreon, which is Pro Play Games, where we can go over sets after release and we could talk about whether or not it performed well or not, or if we should hold on to product. I think it's definitely something, if you guys are getting into Yu-Gi-Oh investing, it's going to be one of the best resources out there in the market today. There's nothing else really like this Patreon or this type of group that we're building. I absolutely think you will see value in this Patreon if you're serious about getting into investing into Yu-Gi-Oh or are already pretty well seasoned in it already. If we lose spots and you guys want to get updates as to when more spots open, follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can find links down in the description below. I'll provide updates there. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way I can update you guys through the YouTube community tab. And it's also a great way for every single time I upload great content on Yu-Gi-Oh investing, you guys will be the first to see it. Also for the YouTube algorithm, like this video so that you guys can help support this channel and we can spread this channel together by making the YouTube algorithm happy. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'll see you next time.